So I was reading a book this morning and it triggered me and it took me back to when I was in my 20s. You see, everything within me right when I became an adult was to strive to overcome my family legacy of poverty. You see, I was born just poor white trash and we lived on welfare. And there was something within me as I reached adulthood that I wanted more. I wanted to become more. I wanted to be more. I wanted to get more. And so here I am in my 20s and I'm on top of the world and everything seems to click and everything is going for me. I think I bought my first house when I was 22 years old. Ended up selling that house after putting investing a year into it and just building it up, ended up selling it for double. And I believe that was the year where I had 160,000 on my W2 and I thought, wow, being so young and in my 20s and having a W2 that size, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. You see, I was doing everything that I possibly could to overcome that legacy. During that same time, I was able to go into a car lot and buy the truck that I wanted, the Dodge Ram 1500 Hemi, and just pay cash for it. I was working for the second best home builder in the nation and decided that I wanted to work for the number one. So I went and interviewed and got the job. And buying a brand new home and all these things. It seems like I'm on top of the world and I'm finally, yes, I'm going to break the legacy of poverty. Yes, I'm going to be somebody. And I begin to look at everything that I accomplished and get my validation and my worth for everything external around me. It didn't take long for everything to fall apart. Within that same period, I lost my mother from cancer, and my father, he OD'd from heroin. Wasn't too long after that the job market changed in 2007, and I lost my job, ended up having to sell my truck and walk away from my home, and also at the same time being involved in the church, but nobody wants a broken, depressed pastor, so losing that. So in the depths of despair, I am there with nothing. Everything around me has fallen apart. Everything that I thought was success disappeared. And I'm sitting there just a broken man. You see, I had to come to the place of nothingness so I can really know what something is. You see, I was under the impression that being a somebody was having the right house, the right car, the right look, the right position, the right title. Not understanding that when I placed my identity in all these external things, that when that external thing disappeared, that I'm stuck not knowing who I am. And so I suffered the loss of everything I believe to learn this lesson that I'm about to explain to you. And that is this: your worth and your validation is not attached to your job, to your title, to your boat, to your truck. And once we begin to separate ourselves from that, and you might have to go through the same pain that I went through, or maybe you could just hear me now and begin to understand that who you are, your identity, at its core, should not be wrapped up in all these external things. You see, in my brokenness, I begin to put on a mask. I begin to suppress the feelings that I was feeling. You know, deep inside, I was enraged that my mother and my father would die, and I would be in my early 20s and they would die one year after another, and they would die from drugs and alcohol. Deep inside, I was furiated, though I couldn't talk to hardly anybody. And so all I begin to do is begin to suppress those feelings, begin to stuff them down, begin to bottle them up to the point of almost exploding on people. I remember one time driving down through Palm Springs there, and somebody pulled out in front of me, and I had a nightstick on the side of my truck there, and all that was going through my mind was contemplating circling around and going beating them with that nightstick. You see, I had so much rage on the inside that I was unwilling to deal with. That's because I was stuffing, I was suppressing, I was pretending. And then I began to sedate. Sedating is drowning yourself in alcohol because you're unwilling to deal with the problems. And that was me. I was a sedator. I sedated myself with substances. I sedated myself with religiosity. Until there came to the time when enough was enough. When you begin to look at your life in utter despair and say, you know what? My choices have led me to this place that I'm in right now. And I don't like the way my life is. And I can't look around and blame nobody but myself. You see, all my decisions had got me to the pitiful state that I was in. And only new decisions and new challenges was going to ever change that. And so I found the key to getting out of the darkness was this. It's to begin to challenge yourself with new ideas and new concepts and begin to make new choices. And that is powerful stuff.